The opinions and views expressed by individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of this network, their group, or other organization they may be involved with.
I'm looking at myself, reflections of my mind. It's just the kind of day to leave myself behind. So gently swaying through the fairyland of love. If you'll just come with me, you'll see the beauty of Tuesday evening news. Tuesday evening news.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Psychedelic Reporters for this Tuesday, October 15th, episode 130, here on NOK Network, the video news podcast focused on psychedelic medicine being reported in mainstream media. Shout out to the guys in Dead Ringer from Kirkland Lake, Ontario for the awesome intro track, originally recorded by the Moody Blues, with some customized changes for our show. I am joined by amazing joint host Tara Simpson and Bufo Alverius, who has chosen all of our stories for us. Hello, Tara.
Well, hello, hobbies, and hello, everyone. Great to be back after another week. I'd like to take a minute to introduce Bufo. He's our Sonoran Desert Toad, or Colorado Mud Toad. Did you know he emits DMT from his skin? And while park rangers would like to remind everyone, please don't lick that toad.
Don't lick the toad. No. Well, do you lick it? Do you not? Do you lick? Is this something that somebody ever puts themselves in? Do I lick that toad? Do I not lick the toad? Do I lick the toad? Do I not lick the toad?
Yeah. I actually wonder how that all came about many years back. You know, did someone just magically go into the desert and be like, I'm going to lick this toad and see what happens? Is that how that medicine was, come upon? Or, was there some like wisdom passed down? Like, I'd really love to know the history on how they discovered that this was a medicine for their mind.
Right. You see, we did the DMT where they told us what it was, but I don't think the story was in it, where the guy's like, hey, look, there's a toad, buddy. You want to go lick that, see what happens?
Right. Or were they foraging many years back and came across this toad and ate it and everyone had a trip or something? Like, how did that happen?
That's like the chicken and the egg.
Yeah. Who was the first person to discover this medicine and what happened in that time, right?
Still, if you watched last week, you will know we are on a integration process learning trip. And in week 1, we learned what integration was, and second, the beginning of integration process. This week will bring us to the body. So, if you want to follow along or want to read more in-depthly, you can follow at tripsitters.org. And this is their guide section. And this is the body. We have one body in this life. Psychedelic experiences can remind us to care of our precious temple. Dude, that sounds so awesome. I'll let you read the rest, but man, that sounds so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It actually goes back to something somebody said to me many years ago, that our body is our temple, right? If you treat your temple poorly, it's not going to respond well, right? So it's kind of interesting that this is, being brought up yet again many years later in my life. So this first chapter is diet. You are what you eat. Maintaining a healthy and balanced and nutritious diet is vital for self-care practice. After a psychedelic experience, your body and mind will be sensitive to nutrients that enter the system. Practice listening to your body's needs. Be aware of how different foods and drinks affect your thought, mood, and energy. You want to consume things that make you feel healthy, vibrant, and energetic. These may include fruits, vegetables, legumes, and grains. Consider incorporating more juices, smoothies, soups, and salads into your routine. Some people may find reducing or eliminating animal product from their diet beneficial. In contrast, others may benefit from consuming a few extra servings of organic fish, eggs, or goat cheese. Maintaining fluid rather than rigid dietary guidelines may be helpful if we tend to be controlling. Food is a gift of the earth, the sky, numerous living beings, and much hard and loving work. And that was a quote by Fish Nat Han. The cleaner and healthier your body and mind become, the more you will want to limit and or eliminate the consumption of tobacco, alcohol, processed foods, and other substances that either dull or overexcite the senses. You may find benefiting from integrating various nootropics, and they list a few there. One of them being ginseng, which apparently is very good for energy, and ginkgo is good for the brain. The other two I'm not sure about. Medicinal mushrooms like reishi, chaga, cordyceps, and lion's mane, which we all know is very good for our brains as well. There's lots of research out there about that. And other vitamins and supplements into your regime.
Yeah, this thing is awesome, man. So cooking, if you eat all often, you may find it beneficial to take more time to cook for yourself. Cooking can help you ground and more connected with your food and the source from which it comes, Mother Earth, water, plants, and or animals. Cooking can be especially beneficial if you tend to overthink. Using your hands to serve you and nourish, you can get out of your head and into the present moment. Cooking for others can be even more fulfilling. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Maintaining gut health. And this is something a lot of people aren't aware of, but your gut health plays a huge role in how your body and brain function. And a lot of the foods that we eat don't help our gut bacteria. It actually harms them. So the bacteria in your digestive system influences our mood and psychological state. When our digestion is smooth, we feel light and happy. Fermented foods like kombucha, sauerkraut, kefir, tempeh, kimchi, and miso and natto contain beneficial probiotics that help maintain our gut flora. Organic probiotic supplements can also help our bellies break down and absorb nutrients. Here is a guide, and they give a link on fermented foods. Some services like Atlas Biomed analyze your gut health and make dietary recommendations based on those results. So that's cool.
It is, man. I can't stop talking great about this in this writing. So fasting After giving the body and mind enough time to recuperate from the journey and return to a normal state, you may also consider different forms of fasting. And as a way to practice self-discipline, pray, gain clarity into life's purpose, lose weight, heal from disease, or to give the digestive system a rest. For example, intermittent fasting involves alternating planned periods of fasting with regular eating. Wow, that was a mouthful. Some say intermittent fasting results in lasting weight loss, better metabolism health, and a longer life. There are also water fasts, juice fasts, partial fasts, omitting certain foods or meals from one's diet, which that means, and dry fast, completely refraining from drinking or eating. Only you know what's suitable for your body, so approach your eating habits with a healthy level of respect and honor for yourself. Consider asking for medical advice before you engage in a fasting practice.
Yeah, I've heard good things about fasting, so that's something to try if you're looking for some of those issues to be solved. Fasting can really speed up your metabolism for some people. And again, you are what you eat. Some people can eat certain foods, and some people can't. So keep that in mind. Mindful eating. When we eat, we can make it a sacred activity. We know how the food appears on our table and acknowledge everyone involved. We can appreciate how food fuels our body and mind and allows us to live another day. Praying and blessing our food before eating allows us to practice humility and gratitude. This was another quote by this Thich Nhat Hanh. Five complamations before eating can be helpful. One, food is a gift from the earth, the sky, numerous living beings, and much hard and loving work. We may eat with mindfulness and gratitude so we can be worthy to receive this food. We may recognize and transform unwholesome mental formations, especially our greed, and learn to eat with moderation. May we keep our compassion alive by eating in such a way that reduces the suffering of living beings, stop contributing to climate change, and heal and preserve this precious planet. We accept this food so we may nurture our brotherhood and sisterhood, build our Sangha, and realize our ideal of serving all living beings. Like our psychedelic experiences, the set and setting for our meals are as important as the physical food. The intention with which we make and consume our food affects how our bodies process these nutrients. Mindful eating allows us to gain control over our eating habits and feel fuller physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Praying and blessing our food before eating enables us to practice humility and gratitude. We realize how abundant and fortunate we are when we thank all the hands, energies, and beings that work together to bring food to our table. We want to take our food in a peaceful and relaxing environment. Where are we eating? We are eating at a clean table, or are we eating at a cluttered couch or a bed while we watch television? Are we listening to music while we eat? Are we distracted, or are we fully present? Removing devices from our bodies and tables while we eat allows us to give full attention to the food. It can also be a refreshing change to eat in natural settings.
Physical practices. If you heard it many times before, regular exercise offers countless benefits for your body, mind, and spirit, especially after a psychedelic experience. You may need to move your body to channel the emotions and energetic currents that have unlocked and you are coursing through your being. If you feel reconnected with the body, you will want to encourage and support this opening and remembrance by engaging in a gentle movement practice.
Yeah. Release tension. By raising oxygen levels, exercise helps you release stress, tension, and stagnant energy in various parts of your body, including the forehead, jaw, shoulders, back, stomach, and hips. Exercise allows the energy to flow within the system so that creativity, clarity, and optimism can replace anxiety, depression, and feeling stuck.
Stay healthy. Exercise can increase cardiovascular fitness and reduce the risk of various health conditions, including heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, and chronic diseases. High energy levels, a more robust immune system, better sleep, and stronger bones and muscles are byproducts of practicing regular movement. You will generally have a higher probability of living a longer, happier, healthier life. Physical exertion can help you break habits such as overeating, smoking, and excessive alcohol intake. You learn to enjoy the positive buzz from natural endorphins and seek out unnatural, unhealthy highs less often.
Yeah. Be embodied. We learn how to read other people's body language to understand whether they are interested or bored. In the same way, embodiment is about discovering your own body language. Embodiment means turning into the body's wisdom and realizing that the mind and body are not separate. When we tune into our body, we hone our intuition, avoid getting stuck in rigid thinking patterns, and train ourselves to locate where we hold emotions, memories, and traumas, which manifest into aches, pains, etc. The body carries the intelligence beyond thought and ideas. We tend to make better decisions when we listen to it. Physical activity can be enjoyable expression of your body's natural intelligence and creativity. Challenging yourself, increasing your comfort zone, and remembering that exercise is about happiness and not necessarily unnecessarily suffering is essential. Like Bessel van der Kolk, a psychiatrist who wrote The Body Keeps the Score, says, self-regulation depends on having a friendly relationship with your body. Without it, you have to rely on external regulation from medication, drugs like alcohol, constant reassurance, and compulsive compliance with the wishes of others. Learning how to live, move, and be happy with our bodies is essential to healing and growth.
Depending on your preference and experiences, you can express you can exercise solo with a partner or with a local group. You can find indoor and outdoor activities. You can join a gym or follow videos at home. You can walk, run, hike, mountain bike, swim, row, or lift weights. You can practice a team like soccer, beach volleyball, play more individual sports like tennis, golf. You can experience martial arts like kung fu, karate, or taekwondo. You can practice estinga, hatha, and vinyasa yoga. You can adopt a more castellanic approach to exercise with pull-ups, push-ups, and squats. You can dance in your living room. Oh, wait, I just wanted to say that part, but I hit the scroll button. Where'd it go? I hit it too much. Okay, you can dance in your living room. Find a local ecstatic dance or join rhythms class or workshops. Dance can be especially helpful in getting you out of your head and into your body and in moving the body in ways you never imagined possible. Dancing can help break rigid thinking patterns that have held your mind and body hostage. Listen to your body and find activities that resonate with your innermost desires.
Yeah. So you don't have to go big, guys. Start small. If you have ever been living a relatively sedentary life, incorporating exercise into your life may initially seem daunting. However, little steps and small changes can make a difference. Instead of putting pressure on yourself to become an overnight athlete, you can consciously decide to make your everyday activities more active. For example, you can take the stairs instead of the elevator, park your car further from your destination, conduct walking meetings, or walk or bike to work instead of driving your car. Monitor your progress. Monitoring your progress helps set goals and stay motivated. Here is a long list, and they give a link there, of workout apps. Journaling enables you to express the emotions and insight that arise on your path to health and fitness.
Relaxing practices. Intense lifestyles and burnout are epidemics in the modern world. To counteract the stresses of daily life, you may find solace in more calming practices that allow you to slow down, unwind, and be kind to yourself. These practices activate your body's natural relaxation response and help to relieve stress, erase muscle pain and tension, alleviate anxiety, and improve mood.
Yoga, the slower paced and more meditative form of yoga, such as yin, restorative, and yoga nidra, may draw you. Yin, the passive female principle of yin yang, helps you soften the connective tissues while you hold poses for up to 5 minutes. Restorative yoga allows you to enter the more passive poses on the floor held for 5 to 20 minutes. Yoga nidra usually involves a guided meditation to help you enter and abide between wakefulness and sleep while lying on the floor. Many yoga studios offer these gentle flow classes, and there are countless free and paid options online.
Tai Chi and Koi Gong. You may resonate with Tai Chi and Koi Gong, rooted in Chinese philosophy, medicine, spirituality, and martial arts. These practices cultivate life energy flowing through the body's energetic channel by blending relaxing, slow, gentle movement, breathing, and meditation.
Sound healing. Sound baths or healing ceremonies allow you to lie down and let the vibrations of various instruments, for example, gongs, crystal bowls, or Tibetan bowls, and voice nourish and calm you. Many of these ceremonies are held in conjunction with yoga practices, and the flow between movement and the subsequent stillness of the ceremonies can feel balanced.
Bodywork. If you feel called to receive healing touch, connect with a practitioner who offers craniosacral therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, or massage. You can easily practice the latter two on yourself, but you may find it easier to surrender when you let someone else take care of you.
Incorporate the senses. You may also enjoy sessions in a flotation tank, also known as sensory deprivation or isolation tank. Another option is to add a few drops of essential oils such as lavender, lemon oil, eucalyptus, or chamomile to a hot bath. Listening to soothing music can heighten the mood.
At home, you can stretch, pray, meditate, practice breathing exercises at home. You can also practice progressive muscle relaxation, which involves tensing a group of muscles as you breathe in and releasing them as you breathe out.
Yeah, conclusion. The idea with these and other practices listed in this document is not to create another to-do list, but to give you an idea of the various healing modalities available. Whenever you practice these methods, the key to happiness is surrendering to the moment and letting go of any desire for more. Finding and connecting with an experienced teacher, guide, or practitioner you resonate with is often more important than the technique or practice itself.
Sleep and rest. You may be, this scroll button, here we go. You may feel tired and drained in the days after your psychedelic experience. Your body is letting you know that it needs to rest and recover. Sometimes you only know how tired you are once you experience a psychedelic journey. When you sleep or rest, you give the body time and space to heal, restoring cells and replenishing energy levels. Besides physical recovery, sleep facilities, and mental recovery, the mind uses sleep to process new stimuli and make sense of all the information it receives during the day. Rest is invaluable after a psychedelic experience as the mind processes what it saw and felt. How much recovery time you need depends on the nature and intensity of your experience and how tired you were in the days, weeks, and months before your journey. Some people return in regular routines quickly, whereas others just need more time to readjust.
Yeah. A deep breathing exercise may help you fall and stay asleep. This exercise focuses on breathing from the belly rather than the chest, activating the relaxation response and lowering heart rate, blood pressure, and stress levels to help you drift off to sleep. So lay down in bed and close your eyes. Put one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. Breathe through your nose. The hand on your stomach should rise. The hand on your chest should move very little. Exhale through your mouth, pushing out as much air as possible while contracting your abdominal muscles. The hand on your stomach should move as you exhale, but your other hand should move very little. Continue to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. Try to inhale enough so that your lower abdomen rises and falls. Count slowly as you exhale.
Here's a body scan exercise to help you sleep by focusing attention on different parts of the body. You can identify where you're holding any stress, tension, and release it. Lie on your back, legs uncrossed, arms relaxed at your side, eyes closed. Focus on your breathing for about 2 minutes until you feel relaxed. Turn your focus to the toes to the right foot. Notice any tension while continuing to focus on your breathing. Imagine each deep breath flowing to your toes. Remain focused on this area for at least 3 to 5 seconds. Move your focus to the sole of your right foot. Tune in to any sensation you feel in that part of your body and imagine each breath flowing from your sole of your feet. Then move your focus to your right ankle and repeat. Move to your calf, knee, thigh, and hip. Then repeat the sequence from your left foot, left leg. From there, move up your torso through the lower back. I hit the scroll button too much. Lower back and abdomen, upper back and chest and shoulders. Pay close attention to any area of the body that feels tense. That's eating the body scan. Relax and know how your body feels. Embrace the calm and the sleep. Like many others, you may regularly or occasionally find it difficult to fall or stay asleep. As long as with these exercises, various herbs may help this process. Lavender, chamomile, magnolia bark, valerian root, hot skullcap, passion flower, and red ginseng. All have relaxing and calming qualities. Keep in mind, even herbs can be misused. Do your research and consider consulting a doctor, especially if you're already taking other medications. Sometimes medications and herbs interact with each other. Nevertheless, once cleared by a physician, you may want to try these herbs to help with insomnia and restless nights. Wow.
Yeah, following a regular sleep schedule can give your biological clock the consistency it needs to sleep better. While it may require some lifestyle changes, establishing a bedtime routine can promote good sleep. Do your best to develop a practice that begins around the same time each evening. A warm bath, soothing music, or a good book can help the mind calm and wind down and give the body the signal that bedtime is coming. Keeping electronics near your bed can be a significant factor in being unable to sleep. As soon as you look at a screen, your body suppresses the production of melatonin, a vital hormone for sleep. Therefore, as much as possible, avoid having electronics near you as you sleep. Keep them off the bed during other times so the mind does not associate bed with anything other than rest. Watching television or checking your phone before bedtime or in bed can confuse the mind. Strengthening the association between your bed and sleep may help you clear your mind at bedtime. Evaluate your sleeping environment. Is it comfortable? Do you enjoy the way your sheets feel? Is your bed big enough? Quiet, dark, and cool environments lead to the best sleep. Earplugs or machines that produce white noise can be helpful if you are a light sleeper. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, or other stimulants close to bedtime. Drinking a calming beverage such as an herbal tea before bed can be helpful.
Oh, wow. I can't wait till next week, but this body one really, it makes you realize the importance of your well-being from your body.
Absolutely. It's such a good article, like a very good guide. It gives you a comprehensive, like, it's not as simple as just taking some mushrooms. It's not as simple as taking some mushrooms and talking to someone about it. Like, there are things that we need to do to make everything work the way that it was meant to be.
Oh yeah, make sure everything works.
Mm-hmm.
And funny you bring that up because this next article is a serious article, and it's going to be a second because my computer chose to but yes, it comes from us from Euro News. And as we read this article, I need everybody to stay mature. I know it's funny a puppet saying that, but because this is a serious thing. This is going to give ammo to people to throw at. If you could read the title and everything, I can't.
Yeah, absolutely. So it comes to us from Euronews.com. Australian man amputates his penis with axe after eating psilocybin psychedelic mushrooms. And this was written by Amber Louise Bryce, and it was published on the 30th of September of this year. Psilocybin has become increasingly popular in medical research for its potential therapeutic benefits, but an extreme case has highlighted the drug's potential dangers when used in uncontrolled settings. An Australian man amputated his penis with a blunt axe after consuming a large dose of psilocybin mushrooms, storing its fragments in a jar with soil and dirty snow. Doctors were mostly able to reattach the penis fragments after disinfecting and debribing them, according to a report of the extreme case in the Mega Journal of Surgery. Psilocybin is a naturally occurring psychedelic compound found in magic mushrooms. Once ingested, the body converts it to psilocybin, a chemical with psychoactive properties that can cause hallucinations, altering a person's perception of the world and their emotional state.
While often used recreationally, psilocybin has become a popular subject in medical research as a potential treatment for mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, with 20 studies currently complete or underway to test in the European Union. A recent study published in Transformational Psychiatry found that the drug showed promise in treating depression by increasing positive mood and alleviating negative thought patterns, while another study by the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis documented how psilocybin can impact perceptions of space and time, making them more open and flexible. However, outside of the controlled environmentals and clinical laboratories, psilocybin can be potentially dangerous, especially in those with pre-existing mental health disorders that have caused psychosis. Huh.
So, very interesting because you and I kind of discussed this article ahead of time, and you know my take on this that I don't think it was necessarily the mushrooms. Underlying psychiatric conditions could be at play here. So, psychiatric and alcohol abuse issues. The report conducted by the Department of Academic Training at the Hospital Feldrich in Austria, details how the Caucasian man, 37, who had a history of depression and occasional excessive alcohol abuse, consumed 4 or 5 dried magic mushrooms while alone in his holiday home. Shortly after the mushrooms took hold, the man cut his penis into 4 pieces with an axe, then panicked, litigated the stump with a cloth, and stored the severed fragments in a jar. Confused and bleeding out, he went searching for help until a passerby found him and took him to a nearby village where an ambulance arrived, roughly 5 hours after the incident had occurred. The man had no clear recollection of the event. Having a loss of significant amount of blood in a critical condition, the patient was rushed into surgery, according to the report, where doctors managed to save the tip of the penis and 2 centimeters of the penile shaft, reattaching them macroscopically. The surgery was largely successful, with the patient healing well and reported to have good urinary stream and erections 4 months later. Although the total length of 5 centimeters had to be removed, the slight complication in the form of the coronal hypospadias developed where the urethra opens further down the penis shaft than normal. Oh my God. The man was also placed under intensive psychiatric care and given medications after, continuing to show psychotic symptoms and religious delusions. So I don't think it was the mushrooms. I think maybe some of this may have been an issue in his past, and maybe that brought some shit to the forefront. But certain people probably shouldn't trip alone.
Well, proper place, setting, and whatnot. Yeah, you're right. This is the first. It's a rare incident. This is the first reported case. Okay, of psilocybin-induced self-amputation or Klinger syndrome, which is a rare condition that involves self-inflicted penile amputation, as reported by the Open Journal of Urology. While this is an extreme example of dangers of psilocybin in just one individual, the case report does highlight the potential risk the drug has when used by individuals with more severe underlying mental health conditions that involve the presence of psychosis. Psilocybin therapy has been tested successfully in patients with major depressive disorder. However, aside from the therapeutic effects in patients consuming high doses of psilocybin, Experiences of fear and paranoia have been reported in 31% and 17%, respectively, the study states.
Yeah, due to the lack of protocols on how to handle this rare entity, reporting these cases is important to gain experience, it concludes. For the most part, however, research on psychedelic drugs, when used in controlled environments, continues to show promising potential benefits on mental health conditions. A study in the Journal of Psychopharmacology looked at magic mushroom related adverse reactions resulting in emergency medical treatment, found such incidents to be rare. The magic mushrooms are a relatively innocuous substance and rarely cause harm to individuals consuming them, nor to other people. Most adverse reactions are short-lived, and their risks can be minimized with certain safety precautions. And again, I would agree with that. You know, people who already have some serious mental health stuff should probably seek treatment at a center versus, you know, just eating a bunch of random magic mushrooms, not knowing the strain or how strong they are or anything when they have a history of psychosis and alcohol abuse. You know, probably wasn't a good idea. Just saying.
Well, man, it's a tough one, but it had. I'm glad Bufo brought it to our attention, because this is what they're going to be using as a case study of why mushrooms are going to be bad. This is going to get thrown in people's faces, but like what you just said, you can't limit one guy's mental health on the whole of the youth. I mean, yes, there are risks. You know, there's risks. We're trying to get therapeutic settings, but not everybody can afford them.
Right. And I mean, given that there's probably, and I'm just going to guesstimate because I don't know the actual number, but there's probably at least 1 million people in the world using magic mushrooms, a minimum, right? I mean, there's billions of people in the world. So there's got to be at least 1 million of them worldwide using mushrooms. And none of them have self-mutilated. Mm-hmm. So like, this is a 1 in at least 1 million chance that this could happen. Right. Your odds of winning the lottery are better.
Yep, and not even be the mushrooms.
Right. Again, this sounds like there's a condition where people do this sort of damage to themselves, and maybe taking the mushrooms just amplified the already in thought process this man was having behind the scenes.
Well, after reading that article, and I hope he gets help, and I hope that if you are suffering from this rare disease that you get help and not blame it on the mushroom. And it's medication time.
That's right, folks. It's time to pay some bills. So stay tuned for a word from some of our sponsors, and then we'll return with more articles making mainstream media news.
Back in 4 minutes, 20 seconds, here on the Psychedelic Reporters on NOK Network.
Discover the treasure trove of flavors at Miss Jolly's Munchie Factory. Satisfy your cravings with our award-winning treats. Follow us on Instagram at Captain Rogers 705. Let Miss Jolly's Munchie Factory lift your spirits. Experience the comforting embrace of our freshly prepared soups and infused cornbread.
Hi, my name is John Mark, aka Sublimator Warrior, and I would like to welcome you to Smoke Signal in Time de Naga.
One dab make your whole dome drip sweat. One dab, make the homies all dipset. One dab, only really need one dab. One dab.
Smoke Signal is a medical dispensary where you can get all your products and needs.
Start vaping a whole bunch. Might just start laying up the blunts. God. Ooey, ooey, gooey, that's a sticky dab. Sticky dab. Might just have to put this one on Instagram. Go and hold it in, feel it in your ribs.
So come and check us out in Tyndonega. 55 Highway 49 in Tyndonega. It's on the res, and we're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week.
Tune in daily to NOK Network's diverse podcasting lineup. Ganja News Update, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern with Tara Simpson and Ron McNabb. Waking Up with the Waniac, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific with Wayne Cruz from sunny California. Grow 420, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern with Ron McNabb. Psychedelic Reporters, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern with Hobbies Puppets and Tara Simpson. Peace, News and Views, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern with Sir Stevo and Kim Cooper. Thursdays we have Open Your Eye with Kim Cooper and Tara Simpson, 8 p.m. Eastern. Followed by Thursday Night Vibes at 9:15 p.m. Eastern with Master and Mama Rochi. The IWK 710 Daily Sesh airs 7 nights a week with our rotating joint hosts, nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for tuning in to all the podcasting on NOK Network.
Join us for NOK Network monthly specials, 12 months a year. Movie nights. Spotlights on entertainment. And live on location coverage. Stay up to date about upcoming programming by subscribing to NOK Network on Rumble, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Facebook. Check out our webpage at www.noknetwork.com.
Advertising space available at NOK. Contact us for a rate sheet at NOKNetwork.com.
Hey, dudes and dudettes. Enjoy the show, man.
And we're back from our medication session live here on Psychedelic Reporters on NOK Network.
I got really stoned on the break and forgot and we have another set of stories coming at you from the realms of psychedelic medicine. So, let's get at it. Hey, you see how I'm like bringing up time here? Okay, so our next story comes from Wisconsin, WPR.org. News Wisconsin is on the front lines of psychedelic research that could reach millions. Researchers say drugs found in magic mushrooms show us promise for helping treat depression. And this is by Anna Marie Yanni.
Yeah, so this kind of sort of redeems that last article, in my opinion. Researchers say people with clinical depression could be helped by a treatment involving psilocybin, the psychoactive ingredient in magic mushrooms. Wisconsin scientists are among those conducting dozens of clinical trials worldwide on the use of the drug in treating depression. They say the evidence shows that in combination with therapy, it shows great promise. It works, said psychiatrist Charles Risen, a professor of human ecology and psychiatry at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. How far psychedelics get into the culture, how far they get into the clinical space. That's a mystery. Depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide, and for some, available treatments don't work. And I would have to agree with that. I mean, Big Pharma's been in this business for a very, very, very long time, and they haven't cured this. So for some people, maybe they do get some benefits from pharma, but not as many as we need, right?
Right. And as Raisin said, there's a huge need. The treatments we have help many people, but they definitely don't help everybody. And as the years have passed, we have come to see that they really help a minority of patients get as well as they should be. Raisin and collaborators recently assessed how many people could be eligible for the potential psilocybin treatment. They estimated that of nearly 15 million people in the U.S. with clinical depression, about 6 million could be prescribed the treatment if were to be approved. The researchers published their findings last month in Journal of Psychedelics. Psilocybin is a natural occurring compound found in some species of mushroom. When ingested, it can cause hallucinations in hour-long trips. The drug is illegally federally, and some research labs are able to study it. The potential treatment involves medical preparation, a therapist supervised psilocybin dosing day, and counseling post-trip to help the patient integrate their experience. UW-Madison conducts clinical trials with psilocybin and other psychedelics to assess their safety and efficacy in mental health treatments at its Transdisciplinary Center for Research in Psychoactive Substances. Wow.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that Madison, Wisconsin is one of the major world centers for psychedelic research, Raisin said. Raisin helped form UW-Madison's psychedelic program in 2015. Wow. As a physician, he was interested in studying new treatments for depression. He saw studies that found a single dose of psilocybin with psychological support was associated with lower depression scores 3 months later for people with treatment-resistant depression. Nobody had ever seen anything like this in mental health, Raisin said. The FDA has granted psilocybin-assisted therapy for depression breakthrough therapy status to expedite its review. Last year, a clinical trial co-led by Raisin through Fitchburg's USONA Institute found that participants had improved depression scores about 6 weeks after a single dose of psilocybin with therapy. The FDA is expected to reject or approve psilocybin-assisted therapy for depression in the coming years. In August, the FDA rejected another highly anticipated psychedelic-assisted therapy, MDMA, for post-traumatic stress disorder. Like psilocybin-assisted therapy, MDMA-assisted therapy has received breakthrough therapy status, but the treatment was ultimately sent back to the lab for more testing before regulators worried the past trials weren't rigorous enough. One reason is it's hard to blind participants who are receiving a mind-altering psychedelic drug versus a placebo. Well, no shit. Raisin and the collaborators conducted both conservative and optimistic estimations of patients' eligibility for psilocybin-assisted therapy based on exclusion criteria from psilocybin trials. For example, trials typically exclude patients who have a psychotic or manic disorder, cardiovascular risks, and recent suicide attempts because psilocybin could worsen their condition. Let's say you just had a heart attack 2 weeks before. In our study, you could not come in, Raisin said. In the real world, we probably wouldn't let you in either because psilocybin increases heart rate and blood pressure. Now, I would disagree with that statement because I happen to know a patient who has heart issues, who is actually on a pacemaker and being followed by cardiologists on this. And he's out of Texas. His name is Russell Langhammer. You guys can all go look him up. And he is using psilocybin-assisted therapy. And he is stable and doing well. And doctors are really baffled because their theory is that this is bad for your heart. But his heart is actually doing well and it's helping him heal. So anyways, back to the article.
The researchers' conservative estimate, based on the clinical trial criteria, found that 24% of the U.S. patients with depression, or 2.2 million people, were eligible. But when a drug gets approved and goes to a market, physicians don't prescribe it strictly based on trial criteria, Raisin said. They still would avoid giving it to patients with cardiovascular risk, for example, but conditions like alcohol use disorder won't necessarily exclude the patient anymore. The patient groups that are brought into the trial tend to have less problems in their life. Most people who really struggle with depression, Raisin said. The analysis suggests that perhaps more realistic estimates of the eligible populations range from 5.1 million to 5.6 million people with clinical depression. Analysis like these are important because they illustrate the new need for new treatments, Raisin said. These treatments might help a bunch of people, a whole bunch of people, Raisin said. However, just millions of patients could be eligible. That doesn't mean the demand will actually be that high. Raisin collaborators noted that many factors, including coverage decisions by private health insurers and Medicaid, as well as state regulators, could lower the number of people who access the potential of this treatment. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Where did we leave off?
And psilocybin.
And psilocybin-assisted therapy could be cost prohibitive. Therapy which may researchers say is key to psilocybin, its treatment potential is expensive. A 2023 report or study estimated the treatment will cost upwards of $8,000. Currently available depression therapies can also cost thousands of dollars, but may be covered by insurance. So again, these insurance companies should be stepping up and being like, hey, it's actually cheaper for us to do this, and hopefully it works better than the crap we're paying for currently every month. Psychedelics aren't perfect, Raisin said. For most people, psilocybin, probably all psychedelics, are not going to be external cures, Raisin said. It's possible state regulators will allow psilocybin use before the FDA decides to approve or reject it. In 2022, Colorado voters decided to decriminalize magic mushrooms, and the state is working on regulations to allow them in healing centers in 2025. In Oregon, people can take psilocybin with state licensed facilitators. In 2023, Wisconsin lawmakers tried to pass a bipartisan bill to help fund psilocybin research for post-traumatic stress disorder treatment. Very cool.
It is very cool. And, we talked about it early in the beginning of that article. You would not think with Johnson and psychedelics.
Right. Yeah. All this research is happening, and one guy just went around and decided he was going to chop it off while high on magic mushrooms. Again, I don't believe that it was the mushrooms itself that caused him to do that. I think that there is a group of class of patients that maybe shouldn't be taking them, or maybe should be in a much more supervised setting with a more controlled dose and access to therapy, providing they don't have some underlying rare mental health illness that's going to cause them to do something like this.
I agree. So Fox 9. So regardless of all the stuff going on, lots of stuff moving in the psychedelic world. Fox 9 KMSP reports psychedelic mushrooms recommended for decriminalization in Minnesota. And this is by Colin Hogarth.
Yeah. So, the brief: the Minnesota Psychedelic Medicines Task Force will recommend decriminalizing psilocybin mushrooms to the legislature, but not for growing and sharing. The task force will also recommend clearing a path for more research into the effectiveness of psilocybin, MDMA, and LSD for treatments of conditions ranging from depression to post traumatic stress disorder to alcoholism. The recommendations are not binding on the legislature, so it's too soon to tell how likely they are to become law. Psychedelic mushrooms will be on the minds of Minnesota state legislators come January. The state's Psychedelic Medicine Task Force agreed Monday to recommend letting people use them without worrying about getting arrested. Psilocybin decriminalization recommended. It's not just decriminalization for natural mushrooms with psilocybin, but there might have to be more magic involved because there's no leeway for growing them or sharing them. But psychedelic mushrooms are moving closer to clearance in Minnesota. Supermajority of Psychedelic Medicine Task Force, the supermajority of the Psychedelic Medicine Task Force came out in support of decriminalization on Monday.
Full legalization could create a safer market. Full legalization isn't on the table for now, but researchers say it could create a safer market. Public safety would involve the regulation, so people know that they're getting. People are being sold things that they don't know what they say they are. Like we're seeing with these diamond shrooms, says Dr. Nielsen, a psychedelic drug researcher who chairs the task force. The legal impossibility psychoactive products you mentioned got recalled, and the FDA says it landed 70 people in the hospital and may have killed 3. Advancing MDMA, LSD, psilocybin study. An FDA panel has recently rejected MDMA and PST, and the first consideration of a psychedelics or Schedule 1 psychedelics for medical use. The Minnesota Task Force is recommending more studies on how psilocybin, LSD, and MDMA might be worthwhile. The advantages of MDMA is it instantly creates rapport with, say, a veteran and a therapist where they wouldn't be able to get in the right state of mind to be helped at all, especially with PTSD, said Task Force Representative Nolan West, which is Republican wing. Wow.
Yeah, some task force members also argued that legalizing medical use of psychedelics wouldn't lead to shady doctors handing out prescriptions because they're still considered Schedule 1 narcotics and federal restrictions are in place. I'm going to guarantee you that no one in the state of Minnesota that doesn't have a DEA Schedule License 1, which is only for research, is going to want to put their license on the line, said Dr. Ranji Veris, a task force member who runs a ketamine clinic in Eden Prairie. But after more than a year of meetings, the task force didn't go as far as approving medical use. It will instead tell the legislature to clear the path for more funding and research into MDMA and LSD treatments and to create a state-regulated program for the clinical administration of psilocybin-containing mushrooms.
Our recommendations are likely to be law. And ultimately, its recommendations are just suggestions. They're not binding on lawmakers heading legislation. This is probably going to be the starting point, said Task Force member Representative Andy Smith, which is DFL Rochester. Task Force members are done creating recommendations after money, but they're still finalizing the report they'll present to the legislature in January. And it's too early to tell how likely it is that the recommendations become the law. Wow. That's, and that's right next to Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah. So it's so funny. Like some places are like totally on board, like Oregon's like, yeah, decriminalized. Yeah, you can grow your own. You know, you can't sell them, but you can grow them. And then there's other states that are like, nope, not happening. It's all the same research. Why are some people so like, nope, we want more. We want more studies. We're seeing the studies. We're living the studies. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, and I wonder if that's code for give me a little bit of time so I can talk to my rich buddy that has a medication thing and see how much billions of dollars we can make off of this new fad.
Right. Or again, maybe, some of those big pharma places are, unfortunately, the money talks, right? And people can be bought, and politicians, I'm sure, can be bought and influenced by, big fish with money. Who knows, right? It infuriates me that no one in the world, not everyone in the world can just get on board and be like, yeah, you know what? We're seeing this worldwide. Maybe this is a good idea. Maybe we can all, get on this train. But they want to just, drag it out and form committees and force more research that's already there.
Well, I'm glad we get to cover it here on the Psychedelic Reporters as we get to watch history and everybody's tried to do this, what billions and decades of medical shamans and trip sitters have been doing for years. So thank you for joining us here on Psychedelic Reporters on NOK Network, and for tuning in to our video podcast on NOK Network's Rumble and YouTube pages, as well as other social media sites.
We hope you've enjoyed your update today on mainstream media coverage of psychedelic medicine advancements from around the globe.
Many thanks to our sponsors and to my joint host, Tara Simpson. Woo-hoo! And to Bufo Alverius for choosing the stories, and to you, our listeners, for joining each week on Psychedelic Tuesday. Let's hear from Dead Rigger again from Kirkland Lake on our way out.
Looking at myself, reflections of my mind. It's just the kind of day to leave myself behind. So gently swaying through the fairyland of love. If you'll just come with me, you'll see the beauty of